this is the second video. Hopefully you guys don't mind watching two-part videos. What was I gonna say? So yeah, we're having doll issues over here. So I went and got more clay. This is the clay I've been using, which I really like this clay. It's very heavy. It's very substantial. It's not like regular paper clay. I will tell you that. I'm not even sure what material it is. But I find that this is easy to work with. It's easy to build up. Easy to sand. So next thing on the agenda is Radish over here, who's looking very disheveled because her wig fell off. Try to get her looking better before I put her on camera. Her wig's a little wonky. I think it's okay. I don't know. Okay. So she is. Here's the Radish. I thought a lot about changing her wig because I never wanted Radish to have really dark hair. But I just honestly think it suits her. She's had dark hair for so long that I really can't see her with anything other than dark hair. And she just is who she is, basically. But I made her these shoes, which are meant to be inspired by men's hose from the medieval era. And they're basically sewn all the way up. Like they're sewn, and then they just lace in this little bit behind the calf. This was my first one I made, kind of the mock-up. So I didn't intend this fabric to be kept. I just used something that I didn't mind wasting, you know? But then when I got it on her, I was like, well, I actually really like the polka dots. I think it's kind of interesting. But I didn't want both of them to be polka dots. So I made the second one out of this yellow fabric. And I like the two different colors. But I don't like the front seam on this one because the dots don't line up. I wasn't really trying that hard to make it look really nice. So I think maybe eventually I'll make another one. Not right now though, because I'm too lazy. But yeah, so Radish is looking good. She's got like this awesome outfit that I've been doing a lot more hand sewing. Like I've been really enjoying putting things together by hand. And I used to do that when I first got on the hobby. I didn't have a sewing machine, so I sewed all of my doll clothes by hand. And I really wasn't good at sewing back then. I was really, really bad actually. But the one thing about hand sewing is it really helps you figure out the construction of a garment. At least it does for me, because I have more control on how the fabric actually gets sewn, I guess, if that makes sense. A lot of the times it's really hard for me to sew on the sewing machine because the garments are so small that I need to be really careful with where I'm like putting the seams and stuff, if that makes sense. So, doing a lot of hand sewing. I went fabric shopping and I saw this and I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest fabric ever. It has like these blue and pink kind of neon-y fish, like a carp or something, on black, and I thought that would make just the coolest jacket ever. And I wanted to try to make a like a medieval men's jacket from like, I'm gonna say like the 1300s. Where it's a very simple shape. It's almost like a rectangle, but the bottom kind of flares out a little bit, and the arms literally just taper into the sleeves. And I don't know if I want to do that or make her kind of more a kimono shaped jacket, because that's typically what Radish has always had. But I don't know if that, I don't know, we'll have to see. I thought it would be cool to do like sleeves that had like a rolled cuff in like a different color. So I don't know, but I don't think I'm gonna make it constructed like a kimono because it's almost a little too complicated. I want to keep it very simple, very very boxy, with the least amount of seams as I can get away with. Like, kimono has so many seams just even in the sleeve. Like, I want it to be real simple. So I'll see what happens with that. But oh my god, her wig just fell off again. Anyways, I've been having a lot of fun with Radish because she's always been someone, oh gosh, lighting terrible. She's always like worn a lot of really fancy, bright, not fancy, but bright colors, interesting colors. And I kind of got away from that a little bit. I kind of got lost in like what I was doing with my dolls. And then I found everything that they were supposed to be. And now everything's kind of just falling into place. And Radish looks really good. And I'm really happy with how everything's turning out. So that brings me on to my most recent, probably the most exciting thing I want to talk about, which is the newest addition to my crew. This lady right here, who is, excuse me, oh goodness, this light just got really, really bad. She is a Minifee Chloe mod, and the lighting has just died. There we go. I have to do something about this. This is horrible. Okay, so I think this is a little better at least. So this is my modded Minifee Chloe, who I traded previous girl for my Resin Soul Me, the SD girl, who really wasn't serving any purpose in my collection anymore, and I've actually decided I am never going to buy SD dolls again because I do nothing with them. I get them and then they just sit, and I don't keep my goals with them. So I'm just gonna stick to the MSTs from now on. So I was really excited to get her, but the Chloe, like I was saying before, is not a sculpt I would choose necessarily. I've never really found it, like, I found it cute, but I never thought that it would suit me. I've never seen a character in it or anything like that. But I don't know, something was different this time. I was very excited, and I just got this vision immediately in my head of modding her with these little tiny eyes, which her eyes are actually yellow. They're just so tiny you can't really see them. And these ears, which was extremely fun. And like, when I was doing it, I was really scared I was gonna mess her up. I was like, well, what does it even matter? Like, I'm probably not gonna get rid of her. Even if I do mess her up, I can fix her. So yeah, it went really well though, and I modded her nose to be this little pointy nose. And then I started making her outfit, which was really hard. She was naked for a couple weeks because I had no idea what I was making for her. I really wanted to make like this Tudor inspired gown, like or maybe like a Renaissance gown with more of like the A-line waist. But I don't know. It just wasn't gonna work out. She didn't want to be fancy. Like a lot of my characters don't want anything to do with gowns anymore. But I knew I wanted her to have these sleeves. So I started with the sleeves. I got them figured out that I wanted to do them like the really romantic Renaissance style sleeve. And then I knew she needed a chemise for the underneath, but I didn't want it to be long, so I just kind of cut it off mid-thigh. And I wanted to put more detail in my clothes, so I did some embroidery at the top and at the closure, and there's even more down along the slit, but you can't see it because of this. And then I made her this little kind of, well, I was going to make a kirtle, which usually has, it's just like a square bib type dress with a skirt worn under other clothing. Even though like that style comes later, like in the 1600s, but didn't end up going with the kirtle because I don't know, she just didn't want to wear a dress. So I just made this part, and I was going to make like more of a medieval type kind of bib to come down and fasten onto here that kind of hung off her shoulders that these sleeves could be sewn onto. I haven't. I might still, but I don't know. Whoa. I'm just seeing how she goes right now. Oh yes, and I did change the closure too. I did lace it up originally, but lacing something up on a doll is a pain in the butt. Because you have to basically unlace it to get it on or off, and I was not about to do that. So only one side is actually functional, which is this side. And you can unbutton it. The other thing is, she doesn't have any hair, and I don't know if I'm going to be making her hair. I got this fiber, which, if I can find the end, I'll show you guys. This is viscose fiber, and it's very pretty. It's super soft, and I really want to make a wig with it. It's one long continuous strand, so it's perfect for doll hair, and I've been wanting to test it out and see how it works for BJD wigs, because it is fairly inexpensive. You can get an ounce for a couple dollars, whereas alpaca locks are $7-8, or if you get them clean and brushed, it's like $12 or $15, and even more if you get it colored and whatever. So I thought this would be a good option to try, but I don't like the way it looks on her. It's too dark. She needs something lighter for sure. I don't want her to have white hair, so I'm gonna have to keep looking, and even then I don't know if I'll make her a wig. I do want to make her a hat though, or some type of veil thing, headdress, like from the Middle Ages. Not something super extravagant or anything like that, but something that accentuates her little pointy ears. So yeah, I don't know. We shall see how that goes. Any more updates though? I don't know. Yeah. But this chick, like I said on Instagram, if you guys follow me there, she's inspired by or the race, my made up world that she exists in, that all my people and characters exist in. The race that she is inspired a lot in part by the Falmer in Skyrim. She's not supposed to be a Falmer or a snow elf, but definitely I drew inspiration from their looks. They're like blind and they have these eyes, these crazy eyes, these big old ears, and they're cave dwellers, or they dwell beneath ground, which the race of being that she is they live in caves. Not by choice, but they do. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna cut this off. That was a lot of updates in a very short amount of time, and I really didn't do much talking about plans and stuff because I'm kind of just rolling with it and seeing what happens. So yeah, thanks guys for watching.